Hi everyone, I'm Ginny and today I'm here for preschool story time. Now you might notice there's something on my face, right? My mask. Well, I just got back from going to some of the little free libraries around town. So while I was out and about, I wore my mask. That way I can keep myself and others safe. It's a really great way to protect your community. But now that I'm home and I know no one else is around, I'm gonna go ahead and take off my mask. Now I mentioned I went to some of the little free libraries around town, right? I love little free libraries because they're little houses for books where you can take a book or you can leave a book for others to read. It's a really great concept, isn't it? So today we're going to talk all about houses, just like how a little free library is a house for a book. But before we do that, we have to sing our hello song, of course. Okay, you guys remember how to say hello, friends? That's right, you take your two pointer fingers and they hug, just like that. So let's put it to song. You guys ready? Okay. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Good job. Okay, so speaking of books and their little houses, we are going to read one of my favorite books, The Napping House by Audrey Wood. Now this one is so fun because there are so many little details in it that you might not notice at first, but the more you read it, the more you see. So we have the napping house. Look at that house. And what kind of weather is outside right now? That's right, rain. So there is a house, a napping house, where everyone is sleeping. I like to take a nap when it's rainy out too. And in that house, there is a bed, a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Ooh, look at all the people. We have a granny, a child. What could that animal be? Maybe a cat. And of course a big fluffy woof a dog. And all the way up there on the mirror, do you see a tiny mouse? And even tinier than that, up here by the chair, there's a little flea. It's so small that it looks like a tiny black dot. And on that bed, there is a granny, a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Is everyone sleeping still? I think I see one person who's awake. And on that granny, there is a child, a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Who's awake now? Do you see someone who's awake? That's right, the dog. What do you think that dog will do? Will he go curl up by the cat? Will he go outside in the rain? Let's see. What did he do? That's right, he went on top of the bed. And on that child, there is a dog, a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. But we're wrong again, aren't we? Someone isn't sleeping. And on that dog, there is a cat, that's right. A snoozing cat on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Do you think everyone's sleeping still? Let's look closer. Do you see the little mouse? He's not on top of the mirror anymore. Where is it? That's right, by the water jug. And on that cat, there is a mouse, a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that mouse, there is, what was that last animal? Do you remember what we called it? A flea. That's right. On that mouse, there is a flea. Can it be? A wakeful flea on a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Can you see the tiny, tiny flea up on top? It's so small. Well, a wakeful flea who bites the mouse. Oh, does the mouse like being bitten? No, it kind of scared the mouse, didn't it? Who scares the cat? Meow! Who claws the dog? Ruff! Who thumps the child? Thump. Who bumps the granny? Uh-oh, what do you think Granny feels right now? Maybe surprised? Who breaks the bed? Kaboom! What other sounds would a breaking bed make? Can you think of any? Maybe crash or can you think of a noise? In the napping house where no one now is sleeping. Does it look rainy still? No, it looks all sunny. Look at them playing in the yard. And I see something that comes after the rain. Do you see it too? That's right, a rainbow. All right, well, that's the end of the napping house. Now, I'm going to teach you guys a quick song that talks about lots of different kinds of houses for animals. We're going to use ASL, which is American Sign Language, for a lot of the animal words. Now, I'm going to go slow so that you guys can follow along and you'll learn the animal signs as we're doing it, okay? So just copy what I do. You guys ready? Okay, well, this one is called A House is a House for Me, and it's by Mary Ann Hoberman. It's actually based on a book, but I just put it to song, so we're gonna go ahead and sing. All right, are you ready? Yeah? Okay. A hill is a house for an ant. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a bunny or a mouse. But a house is a house for me. A web is a house for a spider. Oh. A bird builds its nest in a tree. There's nothing as snug as a bug in a rug. But a house is a house for me. All right, so we went really slow and you guys did really great helping me with those signs. Do you notice how those signs kind of mimic the animal they're about? Like spider, it looks like a spider crawling. Or mouse, you kind of touch your nose like that and it kind of makes you think about mouse and their whiskers. Or even the bird, like a little bird beak chirping. Okay, so let's do it again now that we know kind of the basis of the signs. Are you guys ready to do it with me? Now remember, follow along with my hand movements so that you can sign the words for it. Okay. A hill is a house for an ant. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a bunny or a mouse. But a house is a house for me. A web is a house for a spider. A bird built its nest in a tree. There's nothing as snug as a bug in a rug, but a house is a house for me. Good job! That was kind of a long one, and you guys did so great following along as we talked about all the different kinds of houses that animals use for shelter. And you know, that's kind of funny because a lot of humans use different places for shelter too. Some people have houses, some people live in apartment buildings, some people live in trailers, and even across the world there are so many different types of houses that you and I might not recognize as a house, right? But even worse than that, some people are experiencing what we call homelessness. That's a really hard topic, but these people are just like you and me. And it's not their fault that things have happened in their life that lead them to the point where they don't have some place to call their home. So, as we move into the fall and winter weather, I'm going to challenge myself and you to see what we can do to make the world a better place for them. So, what you can do is you can ask your grown-up if they have any ideas on how to help people who are experiencing homelessness. I have a few ideas myself. I might donate some items to a homeless shelter where they care for people who are experiencing this. And I might donate some food too, because everyone has to eat, right? Okay. Well, now that we talked a little bit about all the different kinds of houses and non-houses, we're going to experience one last kind of house. So this is going to be a story, and I'm going to bring my felt board out here. And it's a really fun little story about a little mouse. You remember the sign for mouse? That's right. Okay. Well, little mouse one day in the fall was looking for a place to stay. And little mouse found a big orange house. Have you ever seen a big orange house before? It looks like this. Does that look like a house to you and me? No, it looks like a pumpkin, right? Well, little mouse found that pumpkin and they were so happy because they could nibble, nibble, nibble and build a door in the very center of the house. But something still wasn't quite right. So they nibble, nibble, nibbled and nibbled even more until they had made 2 nice windows at the very top of the house. That looks really great, doesn't it? With a door and 2 windows. Well, Mouse thought, there's something else missing. How will all my friends get into the house? That little door is only big enough for me. So, Mouse nibble, nibble, nibbled and made a wider opening at the bottom of the house. Now Mouse went inside, and as the day came to a close and the sun started to set and the moon came out, it began to get really dark in that house. So Mouse did one last thing. Mouse lit a candle in the very center of her house, and it lit up everything inside. Well, little Mouse was very happy with their new house. And Mouse's little house was quite a sight for all, because it was a, what? A jack-o'-lantern! And little Mouse had a very happy fall. And that's the end. That is kind of a funny house. A pumpkin would be hard to live in for you and me, right? But because mice are so small, that would be a very comfortable big house for them, wouldn't it? All right. Well, you know what? We have run out of time in our story time. So we're going to do our goodbye song. Do you guys remember how we said hello, friends? Well, now we will say goodbye, friends. Okay, so are you guys ready to do it with me? Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye. I hope you have a wonderful beginning of your fall.